Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and, well, as you can tell from the title from the video below, I have picked up something from my childhood that, quite frankly, is just really an amazing game to me and a huge part of my fighting game career and, again, my childhood. I have picked up, for the Sega Saturn, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, one of the best games I've ever played in my life, and like I said, just an amazing game in general. One of the reasons I believe I got into fighters as big as I did back in the old days wasn't just because of Street Fighter, because Street Fighter was almost in like every arcade back in the 90s. You know, Street Fighter 2, sorry. It was back in the arcades, it was everywhere, everybody always played them, and, you know, trying to do the move sets and everything, and people loved it. But X-Men vs. Street Fighter is built off the popularity of the Street Fighter Alpha series and the X-Men TV show of the early 90s. And both were two huge things, and when they brought them together, it was like the fuck, this is actually happening? Like, they're actually doing something like that? Which, you know, when I first started in the arcade where I went bowling every Saturday, I was blown away, because there's two things I really loved as a kid was X-Men and Street Fighter. So to see both of them clash in a game like this was amazing. I had, after every Saturday, me and my friends would go bowling. Our team would get done winning or losing for most of the time. We would go up to the arcade and we'd play all the games up there. And they had like other fighters, like there was Tekken 3, there was Virtua Fighter at one point. They had Rampage World Tour. What was some of the other games that they had over the years? There was like Carne Evil. Metal Slug was there too. I wonder if it's still there. I'll have to check that one day. But yeah, no. But one of the arcade machines that really stood out and introduced me to this series was X-Men vs. Street Fighter. And like I used to challenge people that were older than me at this game, and I used to mess them up. Like I was surprised because I was like, wow, these guys really are good. So one year for my birthday, I had gotten X-Men vs. Street Fighter on the PlayStation, but obviously there's a huge difference between the Saturn/arcade version and the PlayStation version of X-Men vs. Street Fighter. The PlayStation wasn't able to handle it, and it's not a true arcade port. The tag system you can't even use. Long-ass load times and everything. It wasn't really that fun to play it at the console at home. The Japanese version, because there was no American version made of this game, is arcade perfect. So you can use the tag system and all that cool jazz, you know? It's really cool. But yeah, I personally just love the game, and it did help me get into fighting games more as the years went on. I tried a bunch of different ones, got heavily into Tekken, used to charge people, fight people for that for money, and did pretty good. And then Marvel Super Heroes vs. Street Fighter came out, and I was like, oh, what's this? And played that and did the same thing. Fought people for money, and, you know, did that in Tekken 4. And then in Marvel vs. Capcom, I played that against people too, and it was just, like, fucking amazing. You know? It was just really, really amazing to play those kind of games. And like I said, I think X-Men vs. Street Fighter is what I owe a lot to getting into the fighting game scene, because it is, like, kind of like it is the first crossover game that they have. Because without it, we would never have gotten Marvel Super Heroes vs. Street Fighter. We would never have gotten Marvel vs. Capcom. Any of the other crossover type games out there probably would never have been thought of until many, 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 many years later than some were. So again, like, I personally wish that Capcom could get this game online on the PS3 and the 360. But unfortunately, because Disney owns them, you know that's not going to happen. But I can still have a lot of my buddies that play fighting games come over, and we can boot this up. We're gonna prank my buddy Alex at one point, because he always made fun of me for wanting to get this game, and he goes, "You don't understand. You will play with somebody like me, he's really good at fighting games, and you will never want to play that game again." So he doesn't know that I own it. So when he comes over here, I'm just gonna say, we're gonna play some Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the Saturn and everything. Let's go. And it's gonna pop up, and you can bet that I'll have this recorded as well when it happens. And I'm gonna throw his mind for a loop. He's gonna have a pretty damn funny reaction. You can bet your money on that. But again, it's my money to spend, and oh, that's right about that. The PlayStation version, as bad as it is a lot of money, and the Saturn version is about $35 sometimes, and that's before the shipping and handling. I've seen it go for sometimes even $60. But I got lucky because some guy in Connecticut had it, and he was only selling it for like $20. No shipping and handling either. Or maybe it was like $3 shipping and handling. Regardless, that's like amazing right there. So I had to have picked it up for what I did. And I was like, is the disc going to be okay? And I got it, I looked at it, disc is in perfect condition. Box has got a little wear on it and everything like that, but it still holds everything together. So, yep, that's X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I got one of the best games I ever had from my childhood. So, thumbs up on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, because it's free in this day and age. Free's a damn good thing. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.